what are your what are your predictions for this match? What do you expect to see?
I'm sorry, let's just do the whole introduction again because somehow I wasn't live, but I am now. So, right,
And no way.
right, right. So, um, once again, we have another match here in front of us. It's another day, so it's another competition. We are having Shinigami versus Astrals, and I'm your host. You may know me as Vidaz, you may know me as Savior, you may know me as Iro, you may know me as Davis, whatever you may know me by. It's my pleasure to be here with you, and co-hosting with me is Stu. Stu, say hi to the fans.
Hello everyone. As usual, we're gonna have an exciting time here on the Gauntlet stage. And if what we just said seemed to go so crystal clear and so smooth, is because this is the second time my co-host here managed to make us do an intro without an actual audience before he went live. But welcome to the stream, everyone. We're seeing Shinigami versus Astral, and I think this should be a fun one. Right off the bat, we're seeing a Glue and Loi band. What do you think about this, Davis?
I mean, that is a very interesting band choice. The glue, I still don't quite get why people ban this glue, because if you actually understand how to play around him, you should not have that much of a hard time. But given his recent buff that gives him that extra utility to attach as soon as he gets that S1 S2 combo, I guess it's a bit understandable, but still I don't take it as priority. But while that was going on, they actually banned out the Camilla and the Padang. The Camilla ban is a bit interesting. I thought they would go for something more in tune with the meta, but it's interesting to see that they opt for that Camilla ban. And for the very first pick, we're actually seeing that Lilia picks you. What are you thinking so far?
Right now, I feel that this is just Shinigami playing, or rather banning according to the strengths of their enemies. Maybe they've done some form of extensive research. And by the way, shout out to Crew in the live chat. But nah, I believe that a glue ban is totally worth it because there's just so much CC, so much frontlining and that this hero can do. Even though you can play around him, sometimes you just think, yeah, I'm not ready for all that mental stress. Just take the hero out so that we can have a comfortable game. Because yeah, ever since his revamp where his previous ultimates, the split ended up going into his S2, right? You can
Yeah.
just see him like he can unlock his ults instantly, use them more frequently, escape from damages. He can even use that split to tank tower shots for free.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still an immobilized skill, so like there's just so much value you can get from that hero, and I feel like yeah, it is a worthy ban. But looking for moving forward, we're actually seeing a Fulvius pick paired with the Hayabusa. And I'm actually liking the side of Shinigami's draft. Right now, they've got off to a good start. Got some
Okay.
front line, some dive, some damage, even some anti-dive with this Lilia. But it's followed actually by a CC who will be directly facing Sky Guy in that lane. So, what are you thinking about this draft, Davis?
Yeah, so I'm going to second your shout outs to Curl on the stream chat. So I think he was the second on the chat. The first was actually Big Six, so shout out to Big Six as well. But so far, I think I'm liking the Astral draft a bit more than the Shinigami draft right now, because that Lilia and that Fulvius especially will need very niche situations to actually have the maximum impact in team fights. Meanwhile, you have picks of the CC pick, the Baxia pick, and the Grinja pick who can excel in almost every situation. So it's looking like Astral, just from the first phase of the first pick phase, looking like they are going to have the upper hand. But we actually see a link ban from the side of Shinigami that typically counter the Hayabusa in lane, and then that Irithel ban from the side of Astral, and it's that another debut pick. We are seeing the Flame Man, the Fire God, the Arcane Master Valer making his debut in the Gauntlet 12 on day 8. I mean, aren't you surprised by that, Steve?
Yeah, I kind of have a like a love hate relationship with the Valier pick here because in certain niche situations there's a lot of value that you can get from this mage here, but they just immediately answered that with a Rafaela pick, which on one hand just cancels out the slow that the Valier dishes out, but on the
Yeah.
other hand you do now have a solo frontline Phoveus versus now they have a Gatsukacha, and I have to side with the side, go with the side of Astral because it's just altogether a more balanced draft. You have the damage, you have the frontline, you have the CC, you have the engage, and Shinigami does have more burst damage in this sense, but I feel this game will fall down to their execution. We do know that they are a top squad, so they should be able to execute if what other people deem unexecutable, if you get what I
Yeah.
mean. But yeah, I also do not feel that Dufovius is a niche pick. I feel any day, anytime, if he
Oh, really?
slaps you with that his hammer or coffin or whatever he has in
Okay.
his hand, you're gonna feel it and you're gonna like run back to your base or suffer the consequences. But yeah, we have both of our teams here. I believe we'll be getting into the game shortly. But what are your bets for the first fight? The first solo fight here. Who do you see taking the lead in this game?
Um, so I don't want to cast across anything right now because we have to be wary of that given the recent experiences we had, especially while we had Amy here with us. So I'm not one to speculate, but it's interesting that Boye is now actually on that Brody pick, the same pick that gave him so much problem the last time that he faced up against Synagogue. So hopefully this time he will be able to put up more of a performance. And also Babs asking for a shout out on the chat because he was the third person on the group chat. So yeah, shout out to Babs and sorry for the oversight. But yes, going into this game, like you said, Astral having that much better comp on paper, but now it's going to be about the execution, right? And from the look of things, just from the early game, the poke around and everything that we see, it's looking quite balanced. I don't think any team exactly has an edge over the other. But eventually, when things will be going further, especially from the very first turtle, I think I will actually favor Astral to have that advantage still.
Uh, I would like to second what you said here, but I would have to go with Shinigami for that first turtle, and that it's specifically because of the Phoveus. Because once he starts jumping in that first turtle fight, there's only so much damage that you can take when you don't have your item. So I feel like there should be some lot of value that he would be able to add to the team fight there. But they also have a Lilia who has one of the like heaviest damages as an early game
Yeah.
mage versus all that front line. And let's not forget that Lord Grimex would not have his AOG to be able to assist with that fight. So he's mainly going to be standing there tanking all those glue mobs from Lilia. But we already have the Totsu coming here, and it seems that Shinigami again started while Zane is actually trying to focus on getting his purple buff. Uh, but we can see Sky Guy over here. Todoroki actually going in with the cutting call in the back line. He's going to disengage swiftly, but Lord Grimex is not allowing him. The turtle is going to be reset. He's going to be cut off by there, and it's going to be Sky Guy that secures that kill.
Oh,
And also going to be Zane that secures the turtle
see,
while they
I
exchange
told
a
you.
kill for a turtle here. Yeah, nah, but the direction of the fight
Yeah.
went in the side of Shinigami, and Astral did manage to secure that also. But yeah, that was actually a good play. How did you feel about that fight, Davis?
Yeah, that was actually well executed from Astral. I mean, they possibly had that in the works. They actually executed that very well. But we actually see a scuffle going up top. We see the steel bones engage from Los Grim Lakes, and he actually gets that AOG onto Na Boye, and he catches three. Panda and Yoon managed to escape with Zen coming in. But actually, we see that Quad Shadow coming in from Kamileva and actually use the shadow kill and he gets a double kill. Uh, I mean, I thought that fight had actually gone to the side of Astral. I thought they had that, and they were about to disengage, but Camille coming in quite late, but it's better late than never, and he actually got much more than I think he wanted from that fight, and that was actually very well executed. We were talking about the total, but I mean, all the resources that Astral got from that presumably neutral engage has now since eroded, and we see Zane going in with that twin shield. Lord Grimblix actually goes to the backline and tries to get an engage on Boye, but he eventually leaves and just disengages, and somehow, some way he survives.
Unbreakable.
Camillevi, yeah, Camillevi actually going in. This time he didn't actually commit to anything. I mean, I thought he would once again go for that late execution, but this time I guess Astra were ready still.
I'm looking at this Lord Grimlix. I know he's on a 120 KDA, but I'm actually liking this player now because he was actually able to interrupt Camille Levi's engages there with the unbreakable, and you see he did it again while his team secured that turtle. That's
Yeah,
when you can just see a player that actually is focusing on doing what they're supposed to do. But we have Sky Guy here in the backline. He's trying to jump, but he's not gonna. Oh, he's actually gonna flicker out of there and miss that AOG onto Sky Guy. But no, he's still in the Inferno pursuit onto Tree in the backline, taking that one before he drops there. As you can see, this is what happens when you get Phobios on your team. The madness that you see as they keep jumping, but enemies are dropping at the exact same time. But what do you think about that fight, Davis?
yeah, once again, that was actually very well played. And we see that shadow kill under the turret from Camileva onto Cypher, and Boyi actually secures that kill. That was actually very well played. That was a very nice gank, and they got so much from it. We see Zane coming in, rolling in, and actually, whoa, 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 that was a solo. Well, will I call that a solo kill? But that was a very nice kill from Valer onto that Rafaela early game. She is quite squishy, and I think he just took advantage of that, especially with the burn damage coming from his passive, and uh even with the flicker bonds, he still managed to get that execution. So Astral are really doing their best to kind of keep the damage to a minimal. But I don't know how long they can hold on still. It's looking like things are slowly getting out of hand.
Yeah, you can see that Panda was actually very mispositioned there. He burnt a flicker and still died. But right now Shinigami has the map control. Now Boye actually trying to rotate here and get some farm from the mid lane because he's already dropped his tower with that earlier gank by Camille Levi. But now it's gonna be this. I think this is the third turtle in the game. They had Astral. They had Astral secure the first two, but not actually. Sky Guy goes in with the Inferno Pursuit. He flickers out of here, but the Astral of the Guardian is actually going to catch on to Nad Boye, and he's going to keep going on with that Unbreakable. But the Shadow Q is actually not able to drop it. Turn Apart Memories also doesn't drop. Lord Grimlix here. But it's going to be Sky Guy that drops and he gets resurrected by that Rafaela's passive and he's going to go to Astral again. 3 turtles in the game.
Yeah, that was actually very well played from the side of Astral. They did very well to layer their skills, especially with Thunder AB actually staying in the backline a bit longer, just to ensure that Sky Guy does not get as much value as he would have if he was allowed to run Rampage. But we see Camileva going in with that Quad Shadow and the Oigi Shadow kill, with so many people together, that won't eventually get its maximum effect, but that's some resources just to poke. Let's say a little too many resources expended just to poke, but we actually see Naad Boye being assaulted by Zane up top, and he has to burn that flicker just to get to safety. Astral, oh, I did not even get to see that. Well, I think Kamileva was trying to get that crab, and
Oh,
well,
but look
he
at
paid.
Valeria and Sky
Yeah,
Guy.
man, there's just so much action going on from different sides of the map. While We see an AOG to absolutely nobody, and the mid tower still falls. Also, with Zane, the jungler, being solo and falling to now Boyi. And Lord Grimlix, after the failed Avatar of the Guardian, still decided to give up one extra kill to Shinigami. And that's a 2-for-1 trade with the mid tower. It's not looking good, Stu. Like I said, this game is slowly getting out of control to the side of Astral, and slowly but surely, Shinigami are definitely getting a very good grip on things.
We just saw a different assortment of fights all over the map. Um, some in the side, some in the favor of Astral, some in the favor of Shinigami. But it turns out that it's Shinigami that's actually going to get all of the conversions here, taking out all of the tier one turrets and gaining majority of the map control to secure this lord fairly easily. We have seen all the other objectives go to the side of Astral, but I can't really say that this is going to be the same here, simply because of they're sitting at a 2.2k gold lead. Is not much, but yeah, it's actually going to depend on how much the Sky Guy can actually frontline here, because no one else can get close to the side of Astral. They just don't have the front line to do that. But looks like CC is going to be in the bot lane, but I'm not sure how they plan on contesting this. But Lord Grimix with that conceal, he puts the AOG onto Sky Guy. Sky Guy going trying to sustain with the Infernal Pursuit. He pops to revitalize. Lord Grimix in the backline. He's going to drop to Naya boy. Kami Levi trying to. Oh, there's so much jumping here from Sky Guy with the Infernal Pursuit, but no. He's not going to drop. He's going to sustain it all. And Nat Boya is on a double kill here. We're dropping Zane and putting his team in a 2-for-none trade. Wow. So Shinigami got the Lord and 2 kills. And it looks like they're gonna try and push this down to their inhibitors. But how do you think about how that five panned out, Davis?
I mean, that was a bit too late, too little too late from Lord Grimleaks. They had already lost everything concerning that Lord. The positioning, the HP was too low. I mean, that was way too late coming for a Hail Mary play. So I don't know why they still committed to that, despite already giving off all the advantages to Shinigami. And I guess Shinigami made them pay dearly for that. And with this Lord matching bots, it's looking like they will be able to take this inhibitor turret. And while we are on that note, I would want to take back my words about the Fovios pick, because yeah, I thought he would not be able to perform as much as he is currently, given that there aren't too many dash heroes on the side of Astral, but he's actually making it work quite well. And then we have now Boye actually living up to his, well, I say his actual reputation, and not the reputation of his former IGN. But that Steel Bones actually catches Kamileva while he uses the Court Shadow. But this time he manages to escape with his life. I mean, I don't know Stu, but I'm scared. Will I say I'm scared? Because those kind of plays from Kamilevai can just be what Astral need to, get back in this game and get that much revered comeback win that has become synonymous with the Shinigami lineup from their last game against Synagogue.
Yeah, one thing I would say about the Fovius is that in 2023, 2024, or whatever time he came out, sorry, it's probably 2022. My memory is bad, but whatever time he came out, he was a dash hero counter that didn't counter dash heroes. That's how you would term Fovius of back
Yeah,
then. Fovius of now is just a bully. Like, he's probably one of the best expedieners that you could add to your hero pool, because he just has so much CC, so much sustain, and so much damage for some reason. You build him with War Axe, and he's shredding you like he's a Zilong. That's an exaggeration, but you get what I mean. Um,
yeah.
but right now we have to watch. One is, we all have that temptation when you're playing the Hayabusa to go in, try and be as quick as possible. But as Lord Grimnix has actually been showing us so far, he's actually able to catch those engages in those split second moments. So well, looks like there's going to be a fight here to conceal, and he puts the steel bones onto Nard Boy and Panda. But no, the AOG is going to be cancelled again before it's caught. The cutting call onto but it looks like Sky Guy isn't able to sustain the damage from the backline. Camille Levi going in with the Ogi Shago kill, and it's going to be double kill for Camille Levi, leaving only Cypher and I can't pronounce his Valier is actually going to be the last one alive here. Nard Boy flickering, trying to get him. But no, he's actually going to survive this. But it looks like it's going to be good game here. The Shinigami Death Reapers have reaped Astral as they take game 1.
Yeah, that was that was a very questionable engage from the side of Astral. Typically at this point in the game, given the advantage that Shinigami had, I think the best bet was for them to just let them take the Lord and defend. But they went in for a questionable Hail Mary play and they got absolutely nothing out of it. They got dismantled, absolutely destroyed. Like you said, the Reapers of Shinigami actually came out and he had a feast, man. And just like that, that's game 1 in favor of Shinigami. Very well played. Um, I mean, initially when the game started, it looked neutral. No side was exactly pushing that advantage, but Shinigami immediately took the leverage and just pushed it all the way to the end. So that was actually very well played from Shinigami. For Astral, I think they need to go back to the drawing board, in the little time that they have between this first game and the second game and cook up something a bit more reasonable, a bit more achievable because there were so many questionable plays and so many questionable engages that cost them that game. And hopefully we'll see less of that once game 2 eventually kicks off still.
Yeah, I think a lot of the problem with that engage is how quickly they try to rush it. They would have fed a lot better if they waited for Shinigami to start the Lord, and then Lord Grimlix comes in with that AOG into the Lord pit, and then Zane just has to roll his way into there and try to steal with the retribution. But instead they tried to rush when they went really that far ahead, and we can see Sky Guy here doing the solo frontline job, taking a total of 102k damage and 41% for his team actually. The Fovios hate is very undeserved, and I will be holding you accountable for that.
I mean, it was not hate per se. It was just something that I pointed out because, to be honest, even with the revamp, I still think that he is a hero that works in niche situations. But given the performance and what I just witnessed, I guess that was a wrong assumption. But yeah, it's actually very well done from Sky Guy and from the side of Shinigami. They played that quite well. Astral gave them, a bit of a free roam, and they were very happy to take it and push it much more than Astral allowed them to have. Um, I believe joining us now, though a bit late, is Black Matter. Black Matter, say hi to your fans and your stream chat.
Yo, what's up, guys? Sorry about my late coming. I had a rough day, very hectic one. But I do hope my apologies are accepted too, and let's come in and see what Shinigami has for us in the game too. What's up, Stu?
What's good, Black Master? We're only going to accept your apology in premium commentary services because we have Shinigami versus Astral here. Looks like Shinigami were able to claim the first game, but we're looking forward to this next game and seeing what they're going to actually draft here.
Oh, okay. Emmy, what do you think about the first game, by the way?
Emmy isn't present with us right now.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's just 3 of us.
Oh, it's Vidaz. Sorry. Oh my god. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. That's cool. That's fine. I do want to look. I want to look forward to what Astra has because if I take it that Shinigami won the first one.
Yeah, they did.
Yes.
Okay. So the main okay, I can see it's the main lineup there. We've got Abi on EXP, we've got Cypher on the gold lane, we've got Rono Noah, Zane and Lord Grimlex. That's pretty much the main Astral lineup. So yeah, I really want to see what the main Astral lineup has against in the second game. Hopefully we get to see a game three. But from how they played in the first game, I wasn't there. Do you guys think there's gonna be a game three?
um, for me, from the look of things, it's definitely not likely, given what we saw from the side of Astral. Though Shinigami played quite well, but I think Astral's performance was a bit underwhelming given their recent reputation. So it's looking like a clean sweep from the side of Shinigami. Or those are just my thoughts. Steve?
I feel what like the possibilities of a game three is gonna depend on what we see here in the draft. And right off the bat, we're seeing a steal from that Kami Levi's Hayabusa going to the hands of Zane now. And Vidaz, as you can see, Phobia's first ban. So the presence of that hero was definitely felt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious how they're going to adjust to this next draft. I see a lot of people in the comments really hammering on that Granger pick, or rather the Granger player from the previous game. But no, it looks like Shinigami is going to actually secure that Brody that they used from the last game, as well as follow it up with a Sicilian pick. But what do you think about this draft so far, Black Matter?
So far, so good. You can see RB trying to lock down the Gato here, but you've got Zane on the Hayabusa, and them actually going for a Sicilian still, despite the fact that they have an Hayabusa on the other team, is pretty bold because Hayabusa can be very problematic, especially for mages that don't really have close range skills. And then don't really have that much mobility skills, especially with the quad shadows and the untargetability from the shadow kill. So that's something that I really want to see how Kamelevi is going to navigate. But I believe Boye as well has that in mind. You've got the corrosive strike on Boye, but let me see just how well Zane can also execute this because he needs to be careful. Wow, Sky Guy looking at the Uranus. This is starting to get a little bit of a popular pick in the Nigerian servers recently, Vidas.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that was inspired. That's a Tata inspired pick right now. He claims to be the godfather of the Uranus, that he brought it into the Nigerian meta, and ever since he's showing against, I believe it was actually Shinigami that he debuted that pick in the jungle more, which is actually quite, or will I say, making it more impressive. So since then, it has become a more popular pick. But we see the CC ban from the side of Shinigami and the Fluorine ban actually from the side of Astral. I guess they don't want that extra healing from Fluorine, but given her recent nerf, I would say I don't think she is that much of a threat. But once again, I said the same thing for the Phobios, and I guess he's on the ban list now. But we actually see that Roger locked in by Omayun, which I think Kamelevi will be playing. It's actually very interesting still. I mean, it's actually looking more of a Shinigami. I'm favoring Shinigami so far in this draft. Stu, who are you looking at right now?
I feel this is gonna be a difficult one for Astral to draft around because you want to have a bit of sustained damage versus a hero like the Uranus. Right now, we're seeing that they actually followed up with a Faramis and a chip. Quite frankly, I can't really see how Faramis fits into their comp currently, especially when they're using the mobile assassin like a Hayabusa that's always going in and out.
Yeah.
And Granger can't really reap the benefits of that nether realm from the Faramis. So it feels all over the place. They're up against a Sicilian who has that sustained damage. They're up against Minotaur now that can counter that chip's shortcuts. There's just like so much disparity between two drafts, and I'm gonna have to go with like Shinigami here. But what do you think, Black Matter?
Honestly, I'm kind of leaning towards Astral's lineup as well because I'm leaning towards Astral's lineup because if you think about it, the cheap shortcut is going to require them to cluster when they come through the portal, and then Farami's Nether Realm will be used, which is going to be effective, by the way, because the closer you are to Farami's, the higher chances that you're going to get into that and get that extra HP bar. But when you also think about it, it's also a very good execution on the side of Thunderby too, because Thunderby can get that extra HP bar and Stevens can just keep regening him. But I'm gonna incline towards the lineup of Astra here. But I always say this, and I always still say it. It's not just about the picks. Execution matters a lot, and I still want to see how Omion is going to maneuver Zane, because that's something that is Sicilian versus a Hayabusa. I think we all know how that ends with us.
Yeah, I mean, Umayun, I believe he was before recently. He was more of a gold laner. So now that he's playing more of a mage as the in the Shinigami roster, he should have some notes on positioning, and I think he'll be fine, especially given the amount of the caliber of players that are going to be surrounding him. So I believe he should actually do well and should be able to keep most of his lives till the late game, where he will actually be quite fundamental if we actually get to the late game, because given that they have more of a late game come, sometimes they don't even need to get to the late game to win the matches, especially given the performance from last match by Astral. So I don't know, Stu. Generally, I'm still leaning on the side of Shinigami.
I'm just kind of, oh, looks like there's going to be an engage
There's an
onto
engagement
Omayun here
there.
by Zane.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it looks like that. Out.
yeah, that was actually pretty close. Flickering out there. Very good reflex from Omion there, still.
Yeah. But as I was saying, I'm still just kind of stuck up on this farmers pick. A pick like a Kimmy here, paired with maybe an XP lane and like Dragon or even a Rome like maybe Baxia. Like there's just not enough damage from this side. Majority of the damage is going to be coming from Zane and this Cypher on this Granger. And we can see already how Sky Guy is just in the back line oppressing this, oppressing this side of Astra. But looks like fight's going to break out.
Netherrealm will be used. Kites down, but Omion will take out Zane. Rage used by Panda onto Grimlex. Finds a double, a Roma double in her early. Kamiliva will take out Thunderby though. It's a 3-for-none trade. But really, a minute of finding a double in the early games. That speaks volumes, Vidas.
Yeah, so exactly what I said. I mean, they don't even need to get too far in the game to already get this overwhelming advantage. He's looking almost like almost it's about a 2.3k gold lead right now. Especially with that total secure without even a contest from Zane, and he still gets harassed in the jungle, and I think he lost his blue as well. Right now, Shinigami are looking like they are just going to dictate the pace of the game from the beginning to the very end. Astral are looking no more than a mediocre team of randoms that just came together to host a game and pray to the gods that one way or another it turns out right. But we'll see a shortcut actually going into Sicilian Black Matter.
Yeah, definitely. The AOG comes in, Omion, but that Netherrealm will save them though. Cypher will get out low. Omion falls. Lord
Oh,
Grimlix. Oh, that's a dangerous one. Transcendent ward used by Sky Guy, maintaining that chase. Lord Grimlex trying to get out of there, but the Ionic Edge is granting slows onto him, making it difficult. Sky Guy using the concentration for the mobility, but the Revitalize will come out, flickers out of there. Lord Grimlex, Bloodthirsty how comes as Sky Guy takes out the Roma for Aroma there. Panda will fall, and that KDA will be tainted. But it looks like Shinigami aren't done until that turtle has been contested and won. Oh, Sky Guy
Yeah,
will
you can
still
really
engage
see.
there. Yeah, you can see Zane as well. Honestly, they're really trying to contest for this turtle buff. And I love the fact that Sky Guy is really zoning them out, doing what Iranu should do. Tata will be proud still.
Yeah, you can see how how little damage actually fares against the tanky pick like Uranus. Like the moment you see Uranus, you want to scramble your brain, like, okay, we need DPS right now. He's calling the lanes, he's in all up in their jungle, and they have zero answers to him right now. Not the CC, not the damage, not even the sustain to be able to, out rotate him, outclass him, out like someone like an Esmeralda in the XP lane could probably keep him busy over in the lane. But nope, now the only thing that they can do is actually just run when that hero comes towards them. But Davis, what do you think about how do you think this game is going to fare out? Do you think that they actually have a chance to come back from this, or like they've been screwed from the draft?
I mean, eventually, yes, with this in the early game, actually, we see a shortcut once again, Black Matter.
Yeah, definitely covers him with the Nether Realm. The Lord Grimless will fall though. Omion takes it out. Ionic Edge comes up from Sky. Rhapsody will poke from Cypher. But there's the Shadow Stampede from Rorona trying to poke Sky Guy. Will turret dive there. Ionic Edge transcended ward. Kamiliva will find Cypher on the turrets. Kamiliva, the human, that Kamiliva, they like him. But Rorona will flicker out. Sanguine Claws, Boye will find that kill there on the gold lane. And it's a 2-for-none trade in favor of Shinigami still.
Yeah, we could just see it happening again and again, and like the at this point it's just like a slow march towards a defeat here for Astral, because I can't really see their drafts coming up with answers to this. But this is Mobile Legends, right? Anything can happen. You can always win as long as the enemies make a mistake. So let's see how this actually fans out. If Shinigami will be able to flawlessly drive this victory, or Astral will be able to find a route or a way to be able to win this. But right now, we lose that the Turtle is going to be going to the side of Shinigami. But Davis, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so it's like I said, so far, Shinigami they are looking like they have a very firm grip on this game, and they don't look like they're going to be releasing their grip anytime soon, man. They are just pushing that advantage relentlessly, and Astral are having a very hard time coming up with an answer that to the question that is plaguing them right now. And with each time that passes, I guess that solution becomes more and more elusive. Even with the engages from Lord Grimlix, who is doing his best to get those crucial engages into the back line of Shinigami. I'm not seeing them coming back to these games. I don't know, man. There's no remontada in sight. I don't think Astral have any chance of, in any way, of winning this game. I mean, let's not consider the true tendencies of Shinigami. I know there are always true tendencies in everything. They did that against El Cartel, but yes, this is Astral, I guess. But I think this, even with that chance, Black Matter, I don't see Astral coming back into this game.
Yeah, Panda, Despair Stomp onto Lord Grimlex, but it won't really be much of an engagement. The Dead Sonata has to check the bushes, but there's the Bloodthirsty House. Shadow Stampede will pull Kim and Levi back. Is that where Claus finds Zane there? Zane almost falls, but we'll get out with required shadows. A close call at that. But this Uranus is just pressuring the EXP lane. There's a German cut from Sky Guy Radiance, granting him so much heals. You can tell that Tondarby there really not wanting to poke anymore. But Lord Grimlex will try to give vision there. The Ionic Edge from Sky Guy just might get him into a dangerous one. Transcendent Ward will get him into the turret there. Shadow Stampede, AOG connects onto 4. But Unbreakable Mino and Rage will come in as well. But Panda will fall. Zane fights that one. As the brutal team fight right now, bro. Let's see how comes up. Can believe I will find Tondarby there. But Shinigami will prioritize the objective. Quad Shadow comes in, finds Boye. But don't Shadow Stampede, but will not be able to get Zane falls
Ooh.
to Boye. The Quad Shadows That was a risky play, but Boye outplayed him in that move. Honestly, what do you think about that? He wanted to use the quad shadows and just poke with the shadow kill, but Zane outplayed him there. There's a lot of range on the Brody still. What do you think about that engagement there?
I feel that was very well played from both Zayn and Boye, because one, Zayn actually timed that. You can see how Omayun actually put that those bat claws to actually catch him if he did come back. But he waited, he baited out their skills before returning. But just that stun from the Brody, followed up by his basic attack that actually follows you wherever you go. He was able to secure that kill and his life as well. So well played from both of the players there. But what do you think about that, Davis?
I mean, that was one a fade away for the books if I've ever seen one. That sanguine clause also just to hold was it Zane down? Yeah, and that fade away kill to get it up. But we see actually that's a push on the base Black Matter.
Yeah, AOG connects on to two, but another round will come in to ready that situation. Then Cypher needs to zone out. Sky Guy pressuring with the transcendent one. I only care. Cypher is gone. Sky Guy will finish that one as the Lord will approach there. Not much defense coming in. Sakurai Claus will find him. Sky Guy goes with the transcendent one. What's Shinigami? Takes the second game. The crown returns to the rightful place as Shinigami will establish their dominance in a 2-0 victory against Astral. What do you think about that, Stu?
Well, I feel that the results speak for themselves. In terms of draft, we saw absolute. I don't even know. I would call it haram at this point. I don't like they had sort of a balanced start, but that Faramis and Chip pick at the end was unexpected and not in a good way. I'm hoping that we can see maybe better drafts in the future, especially for tomorrow night. I'm not sure the fixtures that we have here, but I believe it should be a good one because it keeps getting better as you go on with the gauntlet. But right now we can see Thunder Rabi actually trying to sustain all that damage for his team with 104k taking 39%. But on the opposite spectrum, we have Sky Guy over here just cruising in their backlines, taking 40% damage with no deaths whatsoever, also dealing 31% damage for his team. So that Uranus actually did provide a lot of value, and Kami Levi with the 807 KDA. But what do you think about this game, Davis?
I mean, it was just as I predicted, man. Shinigami took that advantage from the early game and constantly outplayed Astral all the way to the end. So yeah, I'm guessing this is not a surprise result by any means, given their performance, especially from game one. Feels like they were not ready for the fight that Shinigami brought to the table. And Black Matter said they have actually regained their crown, but I think they are still on their road to redemption. The crown is not quite theirs yet, but they are actually making progress. So yeah, let's get your final thoughts, Black Matter, before we call it a chapter this evening.
Yeah, both teams tried. I missed the first one, so I didn't really see the dynamics there with team fights and the turtle dance and lord dances. But with the second one, I can say that Kami Levi definitely tried, securing this objective, but then he had help. And Sky Guy, I really don't know what this guy is on tonight, but he really made sure, he really pressured Tondarby with the German courts, and at some point Tondarby just had to start ignoring him because, I mean, what you hit him with whatever and he just heals back up, and it's like, okay, I'm just wasting my time at this point, and I'm not, and, Tondarby didn't actually have anti-heal on him. I think he was kind of trying to buy it as his next item because I can see the build, it's not really complete yet. And, both teams actually tried. And so far, so good. I think the person that really impressed me in that one was Lord Grimlex. Those shots cut, plus the follow-up Rona with the ultimate, trying to save the team there. But unfortunately, that was not the situation. And Boye as well. I said that I want to see how he's going to outplay Zane. But clearly, I saw the outplay there. And he did so well with that. Well, I guess with that being said, that concludes my final words. Thank you for having me on the stream, Stu. And again, I do hope my commentary has made up for my lateness to the stream.
No, it does not.
we're gonna have to make up for it in the next 5 matches.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, then. See you all next time. Thank you all for tuning in. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. You'll be doing ML9 a great deal. Good night, guys. Until next time.
Stu, any final words?
Yeah, see you guys tomorrow, and as always, make sure you like the stream. Like it right now. I'm watching you.
Yeah. Stu is watching you guys in your rooms, man. So always be on the lookout. So
With
once again,
binoculars.
thank you all, thank you all for joining me, and see you tomorrow.